forgive me. On the way, we told stories of our favorite players and their accomplishments and the team that was winning the national title. Corojo was a tobacco-growing area about a mile from the center of town that sent their children to our junior high because their school only went up to the 6th grade. Even if we went to the same school, rivalries existed between us. And when we argued about baseball, the boys from the countryside and those of us sophisticates from town took opposite sides in baseball as well. We had an occasional game as long as we could get a team together and the equipment was available to settle the simmering dispute, at least temporarily. I was scheduled to pitch on this day. There was no dominant winning record for either team. We were both average. It appeared to anyone walking by, judging from the yelling and screaming, that when we played we hated each other. But back at school we admired those in the other team that were talented, and there was a bond that united us because we shared a love for the game. The boys from El Corojo bragged about Santiago León, shortstop for the Occidentales of the National League, and we bragged about Luis Hernandez, their center fielder, each one a native. Then they bragged about Pedro Ramos, local boy who went on to pitch for the Washington Senators and the New York Yankees, and we couldn't come up with anyone of similar stature. Well, he's not here to pitch, so we'll kick your asses today, was our comeback. Destiny's on our side, you losers, and back and forth it would go. Whoever lost would walk away promising revenge next time we met. In my dream state, I was aware of the aroma emanating from the tobacco curing house nearby and the sound of the brook that encircled the outfield and served as fence, and the small dust clouds rising from the reddish soil every time a ground ball was hit. I was having success with my pitches, plus I had also contributed to my own cause by hitting a triple with 2 on base after the score had been tied 2 runs apiece for the first 5 innings. On the top of the 6th, we scored 4 more runs. I was pitching the bottom of the 9th, and I was feeling pretty confident by then. I had gotten their first batter out on a ground out to second base when I looked up at the small set of bleachers between home plate and first. I saw Paco's face, and he was smiling. As I faced the second hitter of the inning, the guy swung and missed on my first 2 offerings, and I thought I heard Paco's voice above the yelling, cheering me on, and calling for a strikeout. I didn't understand why he wanted me to succeed, since that would be at his team's expense. Our team had a 6-run lead. They were simply going through the motions to wrap up the game. Maybe that was the reason for his honesty. When I painted the outside corner and the ump called the batter out on strikes, I didn't look up towards the bleachers. I didn't want to jinx the game. The third batter swung at the high first pitch and popped up the ball in the infield. I looked up and saw the ball high up against the bluest of skies, right above the pitcher's mound. I immediately called for it, waving everyone off. I was either distracted by the batter running to first or by the hitter waiting on deck, who at the precise moment when I was supposed to catch the pop-up let out a fart-sounding raspberry, making me laugh and causing the ball to plunk me right on the head after I missed it. I cursed and yelled interference, but no one was paying any attention. They were all laughing very hard except for Yoli, our catcher, who ran over to where the ball fell, picked it up, and faked the throw to second to keep the pop-up hitter from advancing further in the mayhem that ensued. By the way, this is a first draft, so there's stuff that I'm reading and I'm going, but anyway. It took a while for everyone to calm down and for play to resume. I walked the raspberry guy on 4 pitches. I was so wild all of a sudden. I even missed when I tried hitting him on purpose for the farting noise. Men on first and second, 2 outs. It was Paco's turn to bat. I didn't know what to expect, but the way he swung at the first pitch made me realize that he wanted to win. On the second pitch, he connected and drove the ball deep to center field. It appeared to be over the head of the outfielder, but at the last minute, he jumped and hauled it in with a spectacular catch. Paco kicked the dirt in disappointment as he ran to first. He then turned and ran towards the mound, and grabbing me by the legs, he hoisted me up. Neither team knew what to make of it. You pitched a good game, you motherfucker. That was a good shot. Not good enough, but I'll get you next time. Keep dreaming. Next time I'll strike you out. Why are you fraternizing with the enemy? Yoli asked half seriously. This is my brother, Yoli, Paco said, rubbing my head. After the game, we walked towards his house, together towards his house. My father would come by and pick me up later. Paco's mother reminded me that I was someone special in her house, because she smiled at me the whole time that I was there. While she prepared green tomato sandwiches and lemonade for us, she told us the story of our births, of how she waited with my mother for our arrival, telling us how we had to get along like two brothers and look out for each other. It was the same story when Paco visited my house. So this is for my friend Andy on his 60th birthday.